Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The day, my gosh, I'm starting to say the Daily Dispatch. I haven't said that in a long, long time. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch. Yes, that's the name of the show, Jeff. Jeez. Of course, the Dispatch is brought to you by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. If this is your first time joining me, let me point out that normally I actually know the name of the show that I host. Yeah, I do. I really do. But kick back, relax, take a load off. It's not rocket surgery taking place here. We are basically just going to be talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news. So if you're into board games, card games, role-playing games, miniatures games, you name it, if it's going on your tabletop, we are probably talking about it, as long as it is not R or X rated going on your tabletop. Anyway, those of you out there who are longtime viewers, if you are constant viewers, thank you so much for once again taking some time out of your busy lives to waste it with me. Sit here just kicking back. Really do appreciate it. That way I don't feel like a complete knucklehead just talking into a camera here, right? So let's see what's cooking. First off, do want to point out, if you like this video, by all means, give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch airs live, most Monday through Thursdays, right here on YouTube. I'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my recent review of Masks of Nyarlathotep from Chaosium Inc., as well as today's Kickstarter preview of Lore of Ethera, the Lost Druid from Alchemy RPG, which I will be talking about in just a little bit. Anyway, since this is a live stream, that also means that chat's available. So if you want to say howdy, got a question, a comment, by all means, please chime in, and I will do my best to respond. I got to point out, chat's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But I do my best to pay attention to chat. Also, should point out, when you're out watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. So, crazy night already. Hey, thankfully, I already had all my news and stuff ready, good to go. But I just got down here into the Duct Tape Studios. I don't know, booted up the computer maybe 5 minutes before the stream went out. So I'm kind of like, yeah. Hey, happy Tuesday. What the hell show am I hosting? I started to say the Daily Dope. That's pretty funny. So if you are rather new to the show, it used to be called the Daily Dope. And then I changed it to the Gaming Gang Dispatch. Just, I don't know. Some people had some kind of odd, affiliation. They were thinking dope. Man, I'll watch that show. All right. Anyway, let's see who's in chat so far. The Madman, once again, is first out the gate saying hello. A Great A is here. Gary Clarkson is with us as well. I know I saw, there we go. Beat Cafe is here. So is Clint Gibson. And I think that's everybody. That is everybody. Very cool. So I've got a lot of news to tackle tonight. And then I am going to discuss my upcoming hiatus. That's right. I'm going to be taking, I guess we'll say it's more along the lines of just a vacation. But I will talk about that after the news. We'll kind of discuss it because I want to pick people's brains as well. So let's jump on in because I do have a trio of Kickstarter videos to share as well. So first off, launching on Kickstarter today was Meeples and Monsters from AEG. Here's the skinny. The peaceful city of Rowan is surrounded by dangerous monsters. It's up to the citizens to fortify the city, train up warriors, clerics, knights, and mages, and defend Rowan in Meeples and Monsters. Meeples and Monsters is a big, beautiful bag-building engine builder by designer Ole Steinus. Champions of Midgard is one of his designs. It includes depth, replayability, beautiful contents, and a splash of meeple humor, which will have you coming back for just one more play, game night after game night. This deluxe Kickstarter includes a bunch of upgrades and extras, including the Four Towers expansion and everything you need to play the solo version designed by Mike Mullins. There is it's about a 2-minute long Kickstarter video. So let's swing on in and take a peek.
The citizens of Rohan are under siege. Dangerous monsters are coming their way. Should they hope for the best? Or should they join together and defend the town? Fight it is! To prepare for the upcoming battles, you'll need to visit the villages to train up powerful warriors. You'll also need to visit the university and gather wizards for their sage advice. And fireballs. Mostly fireballs. Head over to the cathedral and train up clerics who can heal the wounded, keeping your forces in top fighting condition. In addition to preparing your forces, you'll need to construct new buildings so you can upgrade your troops with skills and battle abilities. Brave souls may choose to venture into the towers in search of helpful secrets, treasure, and glory. When you're ready, head outside the walls to battle monsters and save the day. Do more than any other player and you'll be declared the ruler of Rohan. Meeples and Monsters is a bag-building game with beautiful full-color meeples. During your turn, you'll have to weigh your options carefully. Do you visit a tower or upgrade the town? Do you level up some meeples or fight a monster, scoring you victory points and maybe earning a special reward? Oh, and definitely don't want to forget to fulfill your quests, another great way to score victory points. Meeples and Monsters is designed by Ole Steiness and published by AEG, one of the most trusted names in tabletop games. So back Meeples and Monsters now. Seriously, you should back it. It's really fun.
Meeples and Monsters is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up. Plays in about 45 to 90 minutes. This project already funded earlier today. You can reserve a copy of the game as well as unlocked upgrades. They're calling them upgrades, not necessarily calling these stretch goals. And there is only one pledge level. It is $49. And you can pledge that through March 19th. Expected delivery is next March. And there is some discussion in chat mentioning how this reminds folks, the madman's pointing it out, and Gary is agreeing with him, that it reminds them of Lords of Waterdeep. And I have to point out, something I read was something along the lines of, if you enjoy Lords of Waterdeep, you'll definitely like Meeples and Monsters. So there you have it. So, gotta say, me personally, I would rather not have it have like a little the silliness to it. I would rather have it kind of play straight instead of the little oddball humor. Because I mean, to be honest, the video, at least me watching the video, it wasn't something that was like, oh wow, yeah, I gotta back that because because of the silliness of it. It's like, no, I don't know, but it looks like it could be a very interesting game. So there's that. So once again, that Kickstarter is going to run through March 19th. There's a second edition of Summoners Wars that's going to be coming from Plaid Hat Games. It's arriving this May. Here's what I know. You've heard the rumors because we started them, and yes, it's true. Summoner Wars is back with a brand new edition. Second edition, that is. Summoner Wars 2nd Edition is a fully expandable tactical dueling card game featuring updated versions of beloved factions, along with exciting new factions ready to join the battle. Summoner Wars puts you in the role of a powerful summoner in control of a unique army dedicated to taking control of the war-torn planet of Itharia. Display your tactical prowess by summoning units to your gates, outmaneuvering your opponent, and cutting down the enemy summoner to claim victory. Be wary, though. The enemy will take advantage of every opportunity they find to destroy you and your army. Countless units, a wide variety of spells and abilities, and the option to build your own decks all make for a game sure to entertain play after play. Summoner Wars 2nd Edition is fully expandable and features updated versions of beloved factions, along with exciting new factions ready to join the battle. The game, which features all new arts and a perfected rules system, can be played in person with physical cards or online with a browser-based app. Summoner Wars 2nd Edition is for 2 players, ages 7 and up. I don't know if I buy that. It's kind of like, really? Really? 7? No, I don't know about that. Plays around 45 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $50 for the core set when it arrives in May. From what I understand is that Plaid Hat will be releasing new factions kind of on a monthly basis. I think right after release. I'm sure it's not going to be every month from here on out into eternity. But I've never played Summoner Wars. Okay, so complete honesty here. I have never played a Plaid Hat game. I know. You'd have thought I would have, right? Nope. I have never played a Plaid Hat game. Elliot interviewed them one time at Gen Con way back in the day, and that's it. I don't even know if Elliot's ever played a Plaid Hat game, but if I'm correct, I think Summoner Wars was the first game that ever came out from Plaid Hat. I think that was their first one, and I think it wasn't very long after that. I think it was probably, well, I guess, yeah, it was probably out for a while. But I think when Elliot interviewed somebody at Plaid Hat, I think they only had a couple of games out. So kind of interesting. All right, moving right along. Coming in August from Ravensburger is Alien: Fate of the Nostromo. And here's the dope. In Alien Fate of the Nostromo, or Nostramo, however you want to say it, players take the role of crew members Ripley, Lambert, Parker, Brett, or Dallas. Over the course of the game, they collect scrap, craft items, and fulfill different objectives. The crew will lose and gain morale as they encounter the alien and other situations. If crew morale reaches 0, the players lose the game. In each turn, there'll be 2 phases. In the crew action phase, players creep through the Nostromo's halls, gathering scrap, crafting items, trading scrap and items with other players, and using items and their special abilities. Brett, for an example, can craft items with 1 fewer scrap than other players. If the alien is within 3 spaces of the player with the incinerator, that player can use the incinerator to send the alien back to its nest. In the encounter phase, players draw and resolve an encounter card. The alien could be lurking behind any corner. Once the players fulfill their initial objectives, they face one of 5 final missions, each with a unique set of requirements. Players must fulfill the final mission's requirements simultaneously to win the game. Players can also introduce Science Officer Ash for a more challenging game. Ash moves through the ship, removing scrap and forcing the crew to lose morale. Alien Fate of the Nostromo is for 1 to 5 players, ages 10 and up. Plays in around 45 minutes to an hour. It is slated for an August 1st release. There is no MSRP information out yet about this. In space, no one can hear you collect scrap. I don't know. I do not know. The minis look fairly decent for the game. An alien game, it doesn't seem like there's any player elimination. I'm getting the vibe there's no player elimination. There are no characters getting killed or anything like that. It's just, I think you're tracking like an overall team morale, kind of like team hit points, sort of, that you can lose. I don't know. I have no clue. One hand, I'm like, that looks kind of interesting. On the other hand, I'm sort of like, come on. An alien game where the alien doesn't kill anybody? Come on. Actually, I have to say, the legendary card game from Upper Deck for Alien is actually really good. I like it. And it's like all the Alien movies. It's pretty cool. So, I don't even know if that's still in print. I mean, I've got it. I don't know if it's still out there for sale or not. So I see Kabuki Kid has arrived. Double K's in a house. Let's move on to some role-playing game news, because launching on Kickstarter today is a 5e adventure and setting from Alchemy RPG. Here's the scoop on Lore of Ethera, the Lost Druid. Lore of Ethera, the Lost Druid is the first installment in an expansive new anthology of science fantasy adventures designed for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Ethera is a fantastical world bound together by a raw elemental energy known as ether, a substance so profound that when controlled can power great cities with otherworldly technology, endow beings with the ability to manipulate the elements, and enrapture one with a lust so intense it consumes their very being. Crystal Lake, which is like up in Wisconsin here, but not in this game. Crystal Lake, an impossibly deep cauldron, keeps Ethera's best kept secret hidden, an ether deposit at the bottom of the lake that joins directly to the ether core. Floating proudly above that secret is the island city of Fano, once the prototype of symbiosis between mankind and ether, now the destitute remains of forgotten greatness. It's been generations since the inventors, a society of brilliant elves known only as Chrysalians, disappeared from Fano, taking the city's beating heart with them. Their disappearance is now a mystery as great as the outlandish architecture that supports this depraved city's crumbling walls. The resolve of a young Indosian may present the spark of hope the citizens of Fano so desperately need. The hidden location of a fabled druid known as Gilgazo, who belongs to an ancient order of sages devoted to mastering the instrumentation of ether. Will our heroes heed the call to recover the lost druid and save a city? And if they do, will they survive the journey? There is a short Kickstarter video. You're going to get to see some of the aesthetics, some of the images outside of what I'm already sharing you as well. So let's take a peek.
To my dearest Fawn, if you're reading this, it is because death has fallen me, and I've left you with the key to this book. The truth concerning my death will not come easy to you, but that is of the smallest significance at this moment. If you truly believe in our cause, you will listen carefully to my instructions. Our city is steeped in secrets. There are mysteries in every shadow, riddles in the ancient bastions of the very fabric of Fano. This city has long slept dormant, suspended in a heavy mist. You can hear the whispers for an awakening. The Druid is the answer. I believe he will rebirth the spirit of Fano. The technology of long ago will reanimate in staggering splendor. But he is lost. And so you must find someone to help you carry out the mission of recovering him. Someone brave. For they must endure the violent waters of the lake, where even the slightest misstep will lead them to a watery dissolution. They must forge through moss and rock, casting their flickering lanterns into the darkened corners of the land. I'm afraid the path will not be without treachery for them. They will come face to face with pure dread. Oh, but they will return. And the Druid will bring the great awakening. Stir the ancient arts. Arise the ageless power. You will be the ripple in the lake that swells into a great blue wave and crashes upon our shores. All for the glory of Fano and the hope of its people. Now, my dearest Fawn, make haste for the docks, for the fate of Athera.
This project just kicked off on Kickstarter today, and you can reserve a copy of the adventure in PDF for a $20 pledge. You can get the virtual tabletop edition for a $35 pledge, or you can score the hardcover and digital assets for a $50 pledge through April 1st. Expected delivery for both the digital and physical items is this October. So I have to point out that Alchemy RPG actually provided me with a preview, and I have a preview video that's out there. I put that out there today as the Kickstarter launched. Those in the know already knew it was floating around on my channel already. Just wasn't listed. Wasn't like, oh, hey, look, Jeff's got a new video until today. And I'm not going to tell you what I thought of it. Let's check out the video, which is only it's like 19 minutes long. And you get to see a lot of the the digital assets as well. So definitely give that a peek. So, I don't know why we suddenly got we we didn't get we didn't get this when I came out of the video. It skipped ahead. The program skipped ahead to my next news piece. That's kind of weird. I've never seen that happen before, ever doing the stream where I move on to the next scene, basically, I guess we'll say. And all of a sudden it's like bam. It's like, wait a second, it's not the right news. What's going on? So Kevin Smith has arrived in chat with us. Good to see you, Kevin. Thanks for popping in. Great Ace pointing out the One Ring RPG, which I don't know if he's an investor or something with Free League Publishing. I have no idea why he's so rabid about this. It is at $1.6 million with 40 hours to go. Yes, that is doing very well. It is doing very, very well for Free League. So Rob German's in chat with us as well. So Kabuki Kid mentions, where's Jason Voorhees? Yes, at Camp Crystal Lake, I saw that. And there is also a Crystal Lake, Wisconsin, that it's not that far from Chicago. It's kind of actually, wait, I take that back. I'm thinking of another place. Crystal Lake is actually in Illinois. So Gray's like, it's the highest funded RPG, that's all. I know, but he brings it up every day. It's like, are you getting paid by Free League to pop in here? Gray's getting paid by Free League Publishing. Come on, chats. And talk about the One Ring role-playing game Kickstarter. All right. Well, you started to see a little bit of the artwork from my next news piece, because this is the second role-playing game Kickstarter that kicked off today. I've got the latest on Coyote and Crow. Coyote and Crow is a tabletop role-playing game set in an alternate future of the Americas where colonization never occurred. Instead, advanced civilizations arose over hundreds of years after a massive climate disaster changed the history of the planet. You'll play as adventurers, starting out in the city of Cachokia, trying to hopefully pronounce that correctly, a bustling, diverse metropolis along the Mississippi River. So why would they call it the Mississippi River then? Interesting. It's a world of science and spirituality where the future of technology and legends of the past will collide. The game is created and led by a team of Native Americans representing more than a dozen tribes, and we've built a game that both natives and non-natives will thrill to explore and build upon. More than 700 years ago, a bright purple streak shot across the night sky. Over the coming weeks, the earth fell into a deep winter. The seas raged and ash rained from the sky. The event became known as the Awis. As resources dwindled, winter became longer and summer shorter. People struggled to survive. Wars erupted. People starved, some fleeing their ancestral homes before creeping ice sheets. But people survived. Tribes adapted, and in the wake, people began to notice a strange purple mark appearing on people, plants, and animals alike. It became known as the Adahinati. I know I mispronounced that. The gift. And many took it as a sign that the Great Spirit had not given up on them. Eventually, the weather began to ease, the earth began to heal, and new nations arose. New sciences and technologies born out of necessity led to a discovery about the Adahinati. Yeah, I don't know. It's me and it's fantasy words, right? Fantasy words. You can't tell me I'm not pronouncing it correctly because it's not real. It wasn't just a mark. It was a path to abilities and powers beyond normal human limits. Now, 700 years after the world was brought to the brink, a new chapter has begun. Your characters enter a world that is healed, but no less dangerous. You know what I'm going to do here is I was going to share the video because I have the audio off on the video because I got flagged for copyright. So why don't I do that? I'm going to leave the mic on. Now, 700 years after the world was brought to the brink, a new chapter has begun. Your characters enter a world that is healing, but is no less dangerous. The ice sheets are retreating and the seas are calming, but what lay beyond your borders? The treaties and alliances that made so much sense during the long winters are now eroding, and old grudges between nations are not so easily forgotten. New technologies arise almost every day, and the rate of change is frightening for some. And then there are the stories. Talk of spirits, monsters, beings of legend. For so many, they were just tales to be told around the fire. But now there's talk that these legends may be far more literal than you may have previously believed. Has something awakened them? Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, I think the video is just about to wrap up here. It was really interesting. Yeah, for some strange reason, I am not getting how much time is left on that. There we go. All right. All right, so I have to point out that this project launched this morning, and it funded in the first 45 minutes. And when I looked, just took a quick peek, maybe about an hour and a half ago, it was 800% funded. So this is bringing in a lot of folks. So you can reserve a digital copy of the game book for a $20 pledge, or grab the hardcover and PDF for a $50 pledge through April 1st. Some strange reason, there's a lot of Kickstarters that are ending on April Fool's Day. Expected delivery for the digital items will be this November, and the hardcover will follow in December. So, kind of cool. I would find this kind of interesting. I would hope, and I don't get the vibe that it is overly political. I don't get the vibe that it's that. So, but gosh, I hate bringing this up because it's such a crappy game, Lovecraft-esque, where it's like, all right, so if you're basically, this game is just a political statement. It's like so you basically stealing Cthulhu and just tacked on your, weird political beliefs. Anyway, or just, basically ripping on Lovecraft and stuff like that. So, anyway, Flaming Huron has joined us in chat. Good to see you. Flaming Huron's in. Cahokia is real. Oh, okay. Cool. It is. Yeah, it's funny. And I live in Illinois. It's that large pyramid structure that's in Illinois. Really? Okay, that's cool. So Rob says it looks like Native American cyberpunk. Yeah, it does look pretty interesting. And just like the Lost Druid, if you're looking at just going digital, pretty fair price, right? $20 for the PDFs for each of those. So, do want to point out, even though we didn't talk about Drive-Thru RPG today, I know it's a first in a long time. Of course, the Dispatch, as well as the Gaming Gang, are affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, I don't know, Drive-Thru RPG for any reason, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our ads. We are not running banner ads for Drive-Thru right now. We are actually running banner ads for the Lost Druid. That's right. They are advertising on the Gaming Gang for the duration of the Kickstarter project. But I do also have little sidebar ads that you can check out if you are going to go over there. Of course, if you make a purchase over at Drive-Thru RPG after doing that, I get a small portion of that sale, and all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep the gaming gang around, at least the gaminggang.com portion of it. All right, so that's it for the news. Kind of zip through that relatively quickly. So Rob says the Cahokia Mounds are right outside St. Louis. That's wild, because I used to have to drive through St. Louis a lot whenever I'd be driving, like delivering RVs out west. Usually, well, depending on where I was going. If I was going to like LA, Phoenix, stuff like that, I would go through St. Louis. And if I was going to, like, say, LA, then I'd actually go through Iowa. Even if I was going up to Seattle, I still was going through the Midwest and then cutting up later. So the Madman says that they clicked on the link right before ordering from Drive-Thru last night. Thank you, Madman. Always appreciated. Definitely do appreciate that. All right, so a couple of things. So first of all, I have decided that from now on, I am not going to share Kickstarter news from companies that just only have videos from the usual suspects, the same old shills that we see on every Kickstarter, almost every Kickstarter. I'm just tired of it. I really am. There are more than like 5 outlets that are covering tabletop gaming, and who see, here's the thing. And I'm not going to go off on a big rant here. I promise. I'll try not to. Here's the thing, that the things that really bother me about all this is, and I'm not talking at Dice Tower. The Dice Tower, they're fairly legit. But you can even tell when they do a Kickstarter preview that they're not overwhelmed by there's just certain ways that it's presented, right? But there are a handful of outlets that it's once again, everything that they look at is just phenomenal. It's the greatest. Rado, every time I've seen him, he gets quoted constantly that XYZ is the best ABC game I've ever played. Bullshit. Come on. This is the best deck building game I have ever played. This is the best deck building game I have ever played. This is the best deck building game I have ever played. It's ridiculous. This is the best deck building game I've ever played. Come on. And of course we know, I'm naming names. I don't give a shit. I really don't. And I think that's why some of you watch. I know a grade A tunes in because he thinks at some point I'm gonna snap. I'll be like pulling my hair out. Anyway. So a grade A's already buckled up. He's like, he's on standby. He's all ready. Okay, so, for some reason, I always call Rado Rondo. Like, just goes to show you how much I pay attention to his stuff. Okay, so you got him. You got Man versus Meeple. We don't have to say anything about Man versus Meeple, because Man vs. Meeple is famous for hiding their paid promotion disclaimer that they have to share. If they have that video on YouTube, they have to share if it's a paid promotional video. And he like hides it after the credits and shit. It's like, and they're another one of these. Oh, this is the most fantastic. Oh, I've never seen anything like this before. You know, everybody. Somebody told me that there's a game that's sort of like this, but I don't think so, and it's called Bridge. What? And the folks over at Tantrum House, or is it Tantrum House or Tandem House? They used to seem like they were, relatively legit. They're off. They've gone off the cliff too. It's all about money with these people now. And I'm not saying it's not all about money with the Dice Tower and Tom. Tom likes his money. But I think you get a fair critique from the stuff I see from the Dice Tower. Once again, I don't really watch these people, but it pisses me, and I'll give you a great example. I used to have a great relationship with AEG. Now it just comes and goes. It's like at the whim of the person that they've got, the guy who is their PR guy, their, marketing guy, whatever. I don't even know really what his position is. And it's like, they're, constantly sending me, oh, hey, Meeples and Monsters launches on March 2nd. No, don't be, and like for like the last, I don't know, week and a half, every few days. And then of course today I get a couple of emails about, yeah, Meeples and Monsters launched. And of course, I don't know until a project launches. I don't know who they've got. I don't know who they've brought on board to do their previews, if anybody, right? Or maybe they shot their own video. So I already had it all set up. I was all like, okay, good. I'm cool. I got all my news set up because I really have been trying to get the news at least the night before all ready to go. So of course this Kickstarter kicks off and it's the same usual suspects doing the previews. And it's like, really? It's like, come on, you didn't throw somebody a bone who, and I'm not saying it's got to be me. I'm just saying it gets to the point where if I find out that the Kickstarter has the preview videos from Man vs. Meeple, Rado, Tantrum House, whatever. If those are and of course Dice Tower, but once again, I'm not sitting there saying, well, if it's got a Dice Tower preview, to hell with it, because just about anybody out there who's trying to get a game published, if they're going to Kickstarter, any sort of crowdfunding, the first person they're going to look to is going to be Tom Vassell and the Dice Tower. So it's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But if I see it's just the same usual suspects, forget it. Forget it. I'm like, so I sometimes, like even today with AEG, I thought to myself, I guess I'm only good enough to share news for you to make money. That's kind of how I feel I'm treated by some of these companies. I'm only good enough to help make them money. Well, fuck that. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'll give you a great example. There was a Kickstarter that launched today. I was thinking about it, which I found out after I had all my news together. I thought, oh, hey, that looks like kind of a cool family game. And it was from somebody I saw. It was from somebody on Twitter who, didn't have like a million followers or anything like that. I thought, okay, it looks like it's their first game. They're trying to get, so I take a look, and I'll be damned if it didn't have the usual suspects. I was like, no, forget it. Now they didn't ask me. So I'm not criticizing them. They didn't ask me to share the news about their Kickstarter. I just stumbled across it and thought, oh, hey, that could be interesting. And took a peek and went, oh no, forget it. Forget it. But yeah, I get a lot of people like, okay, I take that back. I don't get a lot of people, but I get companies that are like, oh yeah, hey, we want to, we want to make sure that you know all about our Kickstarter. And it's like, yeah, okay. So what are you doing to help me stick around? Nothing. And that's how a lot of these companies, that's how they treat a lot of outlets out there. Like, and I've said it before, like it's actually a privilege to share their news. Ain't gonna happen. Now, this is just Kickstarters. So if AEG is releasing a game and, it's just, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah is coming out. Yeah, I'll share a news piece if I think it's interesting. Remember, I have to find this stuff to be interesting for me to share the news with you. Unless it's from certain companies. Like, I'm pretty tight with the gang over at Cubicle 7. Free League Publishing tends to treat me pretty well. Although that goes on and off. Luckily, we're on right now. So Gary says, Tom Vassell can be very blunt about not liking a game. I appreciate that. Yes. But Gary, keep in mind, Tom's not getting paid Kickstarter video money. You will not run across Tom Vassell with a Kickstarter video saying that he dislikes the game. Will never happen. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So, anyway. But yeah, I mean, if Tom's review videos aren't free either. Now, I don't know as far as, because he's got a lot of folks over at the Dice Tower who do a lot of different videos. They do a lot of different stuff. So I don't necessarily know if Tom charges for those videos. But last I had heard from a publisher, once again, I don't know this for a fact. I'm letting you know what I was told from a publisher is that Tom personally will not do a video unless he's paid. Unless he gets paid to do that video. And we're not talking Kickstarters. We're talking anything. Kabuki Kid says Tom doesn't charge for reviews. That is not what I have been told. If Tom personally does the video, I was told that Tom charges for it. That could be completely wrong. So I'm just pointing that out. But once again, let's not fool ourselves into thinking that these people who every year run a Kickstarter to keep them around and then turn around and hit up the publishers for them to do videos for them and various other things, I should say. Don't think for one moment that you're looking at somebody's like, oh, I'm doing it because of the love of the hobby. Look at Dicebreaker. Came out of nowhere. They had corporate money behind him. They had 50,000 subscribers on YouTube within about a week. And it's like, okay, who did you pay for that? Because, you can pay. You can pay to get YouTube subscribers. You can pay to get Twitter followers. You can pay to get Facebook followers as well. I mean, that's all out there. Anyway, so Kabuki Kid says, Tom is very transparent. He only charges for playthroughs. I could see that. And Kickstarter previews. But he has other people at the Dice Tower do those. So I'm not sure if Kabuki Kid's trying to tell me that Tom doesn't charge people for videos outside of the playthroughs. Because I can tell you that's not true. And I'm not, but the thing is, I'm not picking on the Dice Tower Tom. He's been around a long time doing this. Him and Eric and Becky, he had Sam, and I mean, he's got all these different people. So I'm not busting Dice Tower's chops. What I'm trying to say is that man versus Meeple, they're in it for the money. Rado, he's in it for the money. Tantrum House or Tandem House or whatever the hell they're called, in it for the money. There are a couple others that you see, and they are obviously in it for the money. Because, okay, so this is the problem that I see. Okay, so Kabuki Kids, okay, we'll jump back. Kabuki Kid says, Tom was asked only a couple of weeks ago if he charges for reviews, and he said he did not. So if he isn't being truthful. I'm not going to call Tom a liar. Like I said, I can only tell people what I've been told from publishers who contacted Tom to have content done. That's all I know. Now, I haven't had somebody like in the last 2 weeks tell me about it, so who knows? I don't know. Anyway, so that's just all I'm saying is basically I am not going to share Kickstarter news from companies that continue to utilize the same core shills that we've seen, because it's gotten to the point that you've got all these various different people. Oh, wait, here, the Dice Tower's on. Okay, so I can happily clear that up. I don't charge for reviews. Whatever publisher told you that is either lying or misinformed. Done deal. There we go. So Kabuki Kid says, Tom did a playthrough today, in fact, for Umbra Via, and that was paid for, but that wasn't a review. Yeah, I get it. So Kabuki Kid's like, there's Tom. I don't know. It might be Tom, or it might just be the Dice Tower. Anyway, once again, in case the Dice Tower, whoever it is, if it's Tom or somebody else, did not hear me say this, I said, I am not picking on Tom and the Dice Tower. I am talking about the other outlets out there and how I am not going to share Kickstarter news from companies that just turn to the same people who are paid to do their Kickstarter previews. That's it. Anyway. So, and if it is Tom, hey, Tom. You could go back if you missed it. You could go back after this video's over and you will see I was not ripping on the Dice Tower. In case you're thinking that. Anyway, so the other thing was I am going to take a vacation. So as we usually see, every quarter I usually take a week off. So a Great A says board game reviewers versus RPG game reviewers. Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. Oh, so what I should also point out is it's getting to the point where you have so many people out there being paid for their opinions that it's getting to the point that tabletop gaming reviews are useless. They're getting to the point that they're completely useless because you don't know who to trust. I mean, that's really what it's come down to is, and once again, if you look and you see that every single review somebody's got is like, well, this is the best deck building game I've ever played. And then a month later, it's another best deck building game you've ever played. Something's wrong. Anyway, so I am going to take a vacation beginning Thursday. So I will do a stream tomorrow night. So that'll be episode 630. And then I will be off next week. So what I've been doing, and this is something that I was kind of mentioning early on when I first started the stream that I kind of wanted to get a bit of, feedback. So either, of course, from people in chat, or if you watch this after the fact, down in the comment section. I was thinking that I might go back to doing unboxings and first looks on the show. Not reviews. The reviews would still be separate videos. But the only thing is, I'm not sure how long that would go. So I don't know. So Flaming Heron says, honestly, don't listen to most reviews, even yours at times. Hey, that's fine with me. I think if I might like a game, I give it a go. And if I don't like it, then I've only got myself to blame. There you go. That makes sense. So Madman says, my timing is perfect. So, because his daughter's going to be home for spring break. He wasn't going to be watching next week. Well, if the Madman's not going to be around, we're just not going to have a show anymore. Just not going to do it. It's kind of funny. Anyway, if you recall, and of course, I've got better equipment now than I did when I was doing it. What was I like? It was like around episode 300 and something. I was doing that. Doing like I would do the news, and then I do like a review, or I do an unboxing, a first look, page through for an RPG. So I will not do the reviews, because once again, I still want to try to keep the show to around an hour. I don't want it going too long. So if you'd like to see that, because I know many of you who watch now were not watching, which I don't blame you. I mean, I didn't have, it's still not like this is a fantastic show or something. But at least the video equipment's halfway decent. Anyway, but a lot of you I know weren't following the Gaming Gang or the Daily Dope at that time. So you probably didn't see those episodes. Anyway, so I just thought I'd float it out. If you are interested, if you'd like to see the unboxings and the first looks on the show, once again, still 4 nights a week. I might just do like 4 news pieces and then do like a preview, sneak peek kind of thing. Let me know. Let me know in chat. Other thing I do want to point out is, I don't know, the past week it's been a struggle just to get 100 views on the videos. It's like, yeah. Up until tonight, I wasn't saying anything very controversial. Anyway, so I don't know. So when I come back, I'm going to see what happens. And the funny thing is, I've had everybody tell me, wow, I really do like that thumbnail now. And then since I actually put that thumbnail out, the numbers have been down on the live stream. Well, not on the live, but on people who watch after the fact. Kind of weird. I really like that thumbnail, but I'm not going to click on it. Anyway. Oh, so if numbers don't pick up, I think I'll wrap up the dispatch at episode 650. Just saying. Because, I mean, if it's just, because I still get plenty of traffic at the website. The regular videos, it's all hit or miss. You never know. But it's a lot of work. 4 nights out of the week, usually, unless there's like a holiday or something. And if we're not going to be pulling in 100 viewers, even 100 viewers isn't that big a deal. Could we get like countdown to shutdown? Could be. I don't know. So the Madman says he's going to actually try to get his daughter to play a board game next week. I got my fingers crossed with you too, Madman. Flaming Heron says, honestly, I don't get the lack of views. You do the news in the first half hour and only talk a lot during the end of the show. It's pretty good. Wise ass. Anyway, so Gary says, if you enjoy it, then it seems worth it. You know, I enjoy doing this. It's just, I don't know. So Kabuki Kid says, Tom, glad you were here to clear stuff up personally. He's gone. It's like, I'm not listening to this nonsense. I'm out of here. Or whoever was using the Dice Tower account. Anyway, Flaming Heron says, he loves the chats. That's why he's always here. All right, cool beans. Anyway, that is it for this time out. Once again, there'll be a show tomorrow, but no show on Thursday. That's when I'm going to kick off my vacation. So, Dicer says, no, he's not. Anyway, if you like the video, by all means, give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. Because it'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live, Monday through Thursday nights, except next week, right here on YouTube, but it'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my review of Massive Nyarlathotep. Yes, the slipcase sets from Chaosium Inc., as well as my Kickstarter preview for Lore of Aethera, the Lost Druid from Alchemy RPG. I don't know. I almost said Amethyst RPG. It's like, no, it's Alchemy RPG, Jeff. All right. So those of you who watch live, thank you very much. Always appreciate you hanging out, keeping me company so I don't feel like a complete doofus just talking into a camera. And, of course, everybody enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, whatever day it happens to be. I will be back tomorrow. So, if you are somebody who's not watching live, got to point out, I also appreciate you as well. Hell, anybody who takes time out of their busy lives to watch me just pontificate, certainly do appreciate it. Anyway, as I wrap up all of my videos during this never-ending pandemic, I certainly do hope all of you out there be smart, stay safe. Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, if you haven't subscribed to the Gaming Gang channel yet, click right here. If you'd like to see the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch, click right up there. And if you want to trust YouTube's algorithm to give you something to watch, click right there. Once again, thanks so much for watching. And everybody, please wear a mask.